All right, everybody. Kyle Rose, the Ham TV here. I'm going to take this time to go over the different ways that you can draft Magic online, either on Arena or on Magic Online, and what some of the differences are. Because I'm going to be referencing some of this stuff in my videos with John, like when he plays best of one or best of three. I need to make sure that, I don't want to put this in his video and take all that time up at the beginning. So the biggest outlier, best of one on Arena. It's the ranked way to play or whatever. I won't even cover the bot draft ones, but player draft, best of one on Arena. It will just, you draft with players just like normal. It doesn't care about rank or anything like that. The player base on Arena is gigantic. Just tons of players compared to anything else in these ranked drafts, anywhere else you can play. So at a given table, you might have two decent drafters and six pretty bad ones or something. Who knows? Oftentimes it'll be like that. You might think, well, that's fine. The good players play the good players, and it's fair for everyone. And it kind of is fair for everyone, but there's a lot more to it that you need to adjust for. So what they do is they do separate you when you play the games. So me, I'm usually one of the top Mythic ranked players. So I usually will play against either other Mythic ranked players, or if they don't have one of those with a similar record to me at the time, they will pair me against a lower rank. But that lower rank is going to have some information behind the scenes that leads them to believe that they're a strong player. The MMR they have is what they call it, without going into too many details. So generally, I'll be playing in a best of one game, with hopefully what I've drafted is a strong deck, and versus what my opponent will often have is a strong deck. I won't play versus the weaker decks. So what that does, when everyone has a stronger deck, being on the play is going to be way more important in a fast format such as M21. So it's very, very volatile situation. You're usually playing against a good deck where the player draw matters a lot. Now you factor in the hand smoothing that they use. There's not just a random shuffle in Arena Best of One. They won't say exactly what it is, but it's extremely smooth, and you can expect to get extremely good starting hands. The games go super fast. They do not go long. Very rarely do the games go long. You get to make less decisions, and late game cards are a lot worse. So when I talked to John about picks for best of one, and I value the cheap cards way higher there. All right, now let's contrast that to best of three on Arena. Best of three on Arena is a completely different animal than best of one. It's not just sideboarding and not just more mulligan decisions, which it is that stuff, because you almost never have to mulligan in best of one. But it's also it's just the games are so much slower. You get to play more, make more decisions, and this and that. You're also up against, you don't get paired by rank at all, just by your record. So you wind up playing against some of those really poor decks that are in the player pool, that I don't normally get to see. So if I was having problems getting gems, and I wanted gems, maybe I'd play some best of three on Arena. But frankly, at the competition that I face there, they might not be attacking their 2-2 into my 3-3, but they're playing walls, 0-4 walls in their aggro decks, and they're playing, just cards that don't make any sense, oftentimes. And usually you don't see the deck building errors like that once you're in Mythic rank. So I tend to like to play my best of three on Magic Online. I feel that's the purest form myself. And the good thing about that is there's a small, it's a good and a bad thing. It's a smaller player pool. It's not too small, but the spectrum is much more condensed. You don't have like lots of experts and lots of true novices. It's a lot more of that, just that in-between group. You can still have a big advantage to be an expert, but it's the grouping is much more condensed. So what's going to happen is in an 8-player pod, the decks are generally going to be weaker on average because everyone kind of knows what they're doing, and everyone's scrambling for the same sort of, they value the right stuff for the most part. So when the decks are a little bit weaker, the games tend to go a little bit longer. There's more time to make your decisions. The gameplay feels better. You don't just get ran over on turn 4, stuff like that. So that's my feelings on the different ways to play, places to play. And importantly, when I go over these videos, talk about picks in a best of 1 versus a best of 3, that's where I'm coming from because I can't explain this every time. All right, check out the other stuff.